When I get older, I will be stronger. They'll call me freedom, just like a waving flag. When I get older, I will be stronger. They'll call me freedom, just like a waving flag. And then it goes back, and then it goes back, and then it goes back. Oh.
Good morning, class. I am Hlubi Mboya, and today I'll be teaching you your first lesson. But first, let's start off by saying thank you for this very special lesson, which is brought to us by One Goal. You are joining millions of other people around the world who are taking part in this record-breaking attempt of the world's biggest lesson. Children are doing this lesson in countries across the world, from Argentina to Zambia.
I came to Africa to listen and learn. The individual people have inspired me. Just seeing the passion and the hope that these kids have when they're wearing the same clothes every day and they don't have full bellies every day. There's nothing that's going to hold them back, and you could see that there because they really believe in themselves. I ask myself, would I have worked as hard as these kids?
I played 15 years professional, but you know, I went through ups and downs. So if you want to be a footballer and you don't make it in football, and then you don't make it with your education, then you don't have anything.
This could not only be the world's biggest lesson, but one of the most important lessons for millions of children across the world. Now, I want you to take a moment and imagine your life if you didn't go to school or you didn't have an education. Imagine you had never met a teacher, never sat in class, never met your classmates, never even entered a school gate. What would your life be like if you can't read, write, or use the computer? Meet Rukia. She grew up in Ethiopia, where most people move around with their animals to find land for them to graze. When Rukia was young, like most other children, she never had the chance to go to school. In fact, only 1 in 10 girls in this area have ever entered school. Rukia does now go to a school. It's an hour walk there, but she loves it. And her education is not only helping herself, but helping her family.
maadaama waxna qoray waxna akhray ninka ana wax qoray wax akhriya arkay oo igu farxin ninka ama waalidkay ama walaalkay ama sahabada adeerkay oo kale oo igu farxi hadoo qof kale noo yimaado ila halkaasan ashkata kale qof ashkateynay.
Ongoing war and conflict has resulted in millions of children fighting on the front line or fleeing with their families to seek refuge. Over the years, many of these children have never had the chance to go to school. 13-year-old Stephen lost both his parents in the Sudan war. He now lives with his uncle and for the first time is being given the chance to go to school. The education he now receives gives him a purpose, safety, protection, and hope for a new future. Unlike Rukia and Stephen, there are still 72 million children who do not know what it feels like to go to school, to learn to write, or to have a teacher. Children who live on the streets, work in factories, look after their sick relatives, many who struggle to survive and have never been able to learn. But we can change this. So that's why we have started this campaign to make sure that everybody gets an education. Around the world, young and old people are asking their governments to make sure that every one of the 72 million children currently out of school gets an education. They are asking governments to make entrance to schools free. A lack of money should not stop children from getting an education.
Together we can make universal education in Africa a reality.
I call on world leaders and people everywhere to join me in signing on to the One Goal campaign.
The greatest of injustices demands the boldest of action by the best of people.
Now that is a goal worth cheering for.
What big sporting event is happening in 2010?
The FIFA World Cup.
Yes, for the first time ever, the FIFA World Cup is taking place in Africa. The football world and its governing body, FIFA, is partnering with One Goal to ensure that every child and adult gets an education. Will you join me and One Goal to make sure that everybody gets an education? Put your hand up in the air if you will. Together, we're going to ask the world's presidents, the world's heads of state and prime ministers to make sure that everybody gets an education. The South African president, Mr. Jacob Zuma, is meeting with the world leaders during this World Cup to discuss education. And we're going to deliver your messages to these people to ensure that they put the right policies in place to make sure that everybody has a good education in life. Firstly, send us your message to your president. Write it online at www.joinonegirl.org, asking them to support One Girl, education for all. You might want to add why you think education is important, tell them about somebody who struggled to get an education, or how education has helped you. You can either email this to us at signup@joinonegirl.org, do this on our website at www.joinonegirl.org, or mail it to Global Campaign for Education, 26 Baker Street, Rosebank, Johannesburg, 2132, South Africa. You can help us make the biggest voice on education. So do tell your friends, your families, and your relatives to join in on all these activities. And tell them to watch this video too. Sign up on the One Goal website, collect your signatures and send them back to One Goal. Will you help make sure that everybody gets a lesson in life?